Hello, wonderful people of YouTube. Welcome to part 2 of the elevator. This thing's pretty complicated. So if you haven't seen part 1, go down into the description there and make sure you watch part 1 first. If you've watched part 1 and you're all caught up and ready to do part 2, let's hop right into the tutorial. This part here is fairly important, so you're going to want to listen up. This is where all of the logical parts for this build really come in. Say we're on the 4th floor and I select the 3rd floor. This one will now go. So if I put a sign here that says 4th to 3rd, we now know that with this being the 4th floor, and I select the 3rd, when this block moves, it has to move the elevator from the 4th floor to the 3rd floor. And that's all that is. If we were on the 3rd floor and selected the 2nd, it would have to go from the 3rd to the 2nd, and this block moves, right? So we tell this one it is 3rd to 2nd, right? This is 3rd to 2nd, this is 3rd to 3rd, and this is 3rd to 4th. The first number is the floor that you're on, and the second number is the floor that's being selected. So 3rd to 3rd, we do not need. We can get rid of that. Labeling these will help you understand them, but labeling them isn't necessary. With all of these floor selection points named, we can head over to the call button circuits. So this is the 1st floor call button. We'll put a sign here saying, well, maybe not there because that'll get covered up. Maybe we'll go here and we'll go 1st to 1st. So we know this one doesn't have to do anything. This is 2nd to 1st. This will be 3rd to 1st. And 4th to 1st. And the reason these are in this direction is because this is the 1st floor call button. So when you push this button, it wants to send it to the 1st floor no matter where it is. So if it's on the 2nd floor, this one will go. This will be hooked up to the other 2nd to 1st, which is this one, and it will make this fire. And it'll basically do the same thing as if I was in here on the 2nd floor and selected the 1st floor. This being the 2nd floor call button, we go 2nd to 1st, 2nd to 2nd, 3rd to 2nd, 4th to 2nd. This one's also wrong. 1st to 2nd. There we go. So whatever column it is, you want that number to be in the 2nd spot. So this is the 3rd column, the 4th column, right? Now we need to attach these to where they are meant to line up on these. Now here with the 1st to 1st, we know we don't need to do anything with that. So we'll come over here with 1st to 2nd, put a repeater there, a block there, a torch, and a block on top of it. This will do for now. For 3rd to 1st, we will put another repeater here with a bunch of observers looking at it, and this will be our 1st tower to take an input up. And right here on the 4th one, we'll also do a quick little torch tower, or pardon me, an observer tower there. And these will eventually be connected up to different things here, only because this is the 1st floor and it gets connected into these inputs directly. So we'll just have our observer towers here powering nothing for now. It's just an idea that we need these here. The second floor gets a little bit more interesting though, as we're finally connecting to these observers. And the way I like to do that is with pistons. If we have a piston here, say, when this fires, it turns on, puts a tick through there, and turns off, and puts another tick through there. So it works similarly where it will just push and then pull back. Let's connect all of our first floors first. So from here, it's always nice to have a repeater sticking off of these, and that way when the numbers change, when these torches go off, we get the same signal out. So the repeaters... Boy, oh boy, I need to work on my redstone terminology. So that the observers do not change because they're looking at a redstone with the same signal output. There we go. That's how it works. From here, second to first, we're going to put a block there that gets powered by this repeater. Over here, we're going to put 3 redstone dust and a couple of observers like that, and a block on top so that they activate this piston. Okay, now we know this is first to second. So this would be me pushing the second floor call button, and the elevator was on the first floor. So we have this block here to lock it as if the elevator was on the first floor. And this one here is sending the elevator from the first floor to the second floor. So when we push the second floor call button, if the elevator was on the first floor, this block would have to extend and then retract again. So if we push that button, that is the one that moves, and that's what we like to see. So if we want to hook up our first to third, we're going to do something quite similar here. I believe we're going to have some redstone up here, and we're going to put a block there to stop this wiring from interfering with this wiring. We're going to put a piston here that will trip that. And we're going to have some observers going there into a block that will power this. And same thing with first to fourth. We're going to want to power this one. Just here will work. Make sure you test as you go. I'm leaving most of the testing out to save time in the video, but you should be testing. With that done, let's move on to the next floors. Okay, now let's hook up our circuits to the second floor, which we're again going to use pistons for. We'll have one firing in this way, and the third floor one is actually going to come this way this time. So from here, we're going to connect a little redstone circuit over here. And here we're going to come in a little zigzag pattern like this until we are in line with here. We'll take another block out because that is where the observer is going to be. No, the observer is actually going to be here. My mistake. Let's connect these up with redstone. So there's a 1 block gap here. We're going to come down to the second floor. We're going to put a repeater there and a dust there. Same dealio with second to third, a repeater and a dust like that. We can actually do blocks like this to have less observers and make it a little bit faster. But now if we connect repeaters to this, it's repeaters. These are observers. How many times am I going to call observers repeaters in this video? Maybe we get a count going. I don't know. These observers come up and power this redstone. Same thing with down here. So now when we come over here and we lock the second floor instead, when we push these buttons, we should see that was the third floor coming out. Now when we get to the third floor, we're going to put our repeaters down here. They're actually repeaters this time. And we need to have observers looking right at those repeaters. Okay, we're going to come up here to floor 3 and we're going to put our pistons down like normal. There's no 3 to 3. So for third to third here, we don't need this. Now up here, we're going to connect these again, just over like this. We'll have another observer tower coming straight up all the way to here. Connect that up. And this one is going to be second to third. Connect those up nice and easy. And we'll finally come up here for the fourth floor. And we will have pistons here. This will be fourth to third, fourth to second. So we'll go over and take, this is the fourth to third spot right here. Bring that all the way up. So we'll bring these over and around like this. And we can just hit that one like this. So all of this hard part is basically done. You've got all of the circuits laid down and looking good. Now all we have to do is connect them all up. Let's go ahead and start by connecting the call buttons. What I like to do is to have this come one block out from where the door is, and one block over, and this is where our call button goes. So we'll put all of these in on all of these floors and connect the call button into the same place on every floor. Now that we've got call buttons on all of the floors, we need to connect them up. The first floor I'm going to put here with just a dust on top of it. My bad. One down with a dust on top of it. So when this pushes, the observer ticks twice. With these circuits here, the second floor is going to have to come out to beside it, right here, like that. The third floor is going to have to go even one more further to here. And the fourth floor is going to have to come out yet another one to here. And now when we fill all those observers in, they should be right next to each other. Now we're going to take this to 1, 2, 3, 4 observers down. And this is where we want all of these to be. We're going to go 2, 3, 4, and we don't need that one. And on the end of all of these observers, we're going to put a sticky piston and a redstone block. So now if we push the first button, that one extends, retracts. Second button would be that one. Oh, I need to hook up the redstone. Don't forget about that. All right, so we know these observers are working. Let's get those redstone blocks appeared. And now we need to connect all of our call buttons up to our call button circuits. Here should be the fourth floor call button. So we have first, second, third, and fourth outputs for the call buttons. Now all we got to do is just take redstone wires all the way to each call button, going 1, 2, 3, 4, right? All right, we've got them hooked up. Make sure that whatever floor is activated corresponds to only one of these circuits. And make sure it's the right one too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mine is working. So now all of our call buttons are hooked up into the call button circuit, which now will go on whichever floor isn't locked. We can now hook up the lock circuits, which I'll show you how to do now. Okay, one quick thing to say about this lock circuit is for the first floor call button, we actually want 2 observers here with the redstone, and that's to make it so that when this comes up, this redstone doesn't accidentally lock this piston, which it can do, so just have the first one sticking out 1 block farther than the rest. Everything should go good. But anyways, now we need to connect, this is the first floor, we need to connect this locking circuit over to here. This is the second floor and third floor. So that's just as easy as bringing redstone circuits over. All right, we can connect up the second and third floors in the same way. Here is a quick little note I'm making after recording the whole tutorial, and that is, I showed in the tutorial to do this. This will lock that piston, so you actually need to come up one, and then that will connect to these buttons, so you just put a block here, stop that. So make sure this piston has 2 spaces above it. Same with the third floor lock. And then we need a block here to stop the call buttons from powering the locks. Just a quick little thing I thought I should mention. Now all of our locking circuits are hooked up, and we can finally start telling this machine what to do when these different redstone blocks move. This next half of the build is going to be very timing dependent and might require a little trial and error. So if it doesn't work perfectly the first time, you're going to need to have some patience, and you're just going to need to stick with it because it's going to be so cool when it's done and working. These bottom double extenders here with this block and this block are now the inputs. We want to make sure we have repeaters on 4 ticks right after those inputs. And then we're going to come up here. These blocks I've pre-placed, lined up right with where the inputs are. So if we take observers all the way down on top of our dust here, it should be activating these circuits now. I've also come and realized that on mine, the third floor double extender was 1 block over. So just make sure that everything is lined up with a nice clean elevator shaft, and the elevator can actually get through here. One more thing I've realized is that here on the second floor double extender, we're going to get rid of that block there that had the button on it, and we're going to put in a sticky piston with a redstone block, another block here. That's where we can put our button on now. And this block is also going to need to be powered by repeaters. These are observers, they're not repeaters, my bad. Bring these all the way down. And these all the way down into, oh my goodness. Into these ones here. There we go, we got it. Okay. Now I'm going to label these as what they are. So this one here, we can plop a sign down and say that this is the third, we'll just call it the third bottom lock. All right, once we have all of those updates plopped in, we're ready to get this thing working. First things first, if the elevator is at the top floor here, we need these They're droppers. Yeah, these droppers to go. So we'll come on over here and we'll grab our output out of here. I've also got rid of this here because we don't need it on this floor. We'll put a block there. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 redstone dust into a repeater. Then we'll come out 2 more like this. We'll come over 2 more. We'll put a repeater here, a block there, and a dust like that. So now if we're here and we are on the 4th floor and select the 1st floor and press the button, those will power right away, and that's what we want. This redstone here is going to get powered from this observer tower here. There we go, looking good. Now let's put in the other floors. From here, we know that the redstone block is going to get pushed here, so we're going to put some repeaters like that, which will take an output out of the redstone block when we're here. Right under these blocks, we're going to put some more blocks here with a redstone wire. Right about here, we're going to put a repeater there to extend the signal. And then we're just going to start making our staircase down. And we want to bring that over and connect that to here, so that if either 2 or 3 are selected, these droppers will also go. That's what we want to see. Now let's hook up the 4th floor to 2nd floor. The 4th floor to 2nd floor is going to have a block up like this and just 4 blocks up in a staircase like that. At the top, we're going to have a repeater going this way on 4 ticks, and we're going to need 9 total repeaters on this part, following this pattern, all on 9 ticks. Pardon me, all on 4 ticks. We have 1, 2, 3. That'll be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can remove all of these under the corner blocks now, just to save on building blocks, and 2, it might look a bit better. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Down here, we're going to connect this over, and this is the 2nd floor bottom lock. So this is what we want to hook up with just redstone dust like that. Now we're going to come here, put another repeater on 4 ticks into a block like that, come down. We're going to put a dust here, 1, 2, 3, 4 repeaters into a block, and we're going to come over 1, 2, 3 more, and it should line up just like that if you've put in the new part down here. Everything's looking good, so we'll plop that. Make sure the elevator shaft is clear, and we will send it up to the top floor. All right, now that the elevator is on the top floor and we have our 2nd floor selected, the elevator shaft is clear, we will push the button and see what happens. Our elevator launches down. The locks should come out right about now. Oh, 2nd floor locks. Those locks. And then the floor comes in on top to finish it. The bottom of the flying machine elevator is now on top because these came in. And this is what we want to see. Now, if we were to pull these blocks back, the elevator will just go down. And that's how this works. With the elevator shaft cleared, I'm going to send it back up to the 4th floor, as we're going to need to do 4th to 3rd now. The 4th to 3rd floor is pretty similar as we'll have our staircase up like this. We'll have 3 pieces of dust, and then we'll have a repeater, and then it'll go up into dust repeater and dust repeater. We're going to have 3 steps with repeaters on it like that. Then we're going to have a block here. From this block, we're going to bring it right over until it's in line with the observers. We're going to go boop, 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 boop. This one here is going to be another repeater that powers a block. Down here is where we're going to put our redstone, and we actually need another observer there, it looks like. So we'll put that there. We'll bring this over with more dust here. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3 repeaters and a dust. So we got this going on, and now we're gonna have 2 little steps down like this. From here, we're gonna come out 1 more and over 2. We'll break that block. We'll have a dust, 1 more repeater, and then 2 dust there. So let's see, our extenders are out. So we'll push this button to bring them back in. And now if I'm up here at the 4th floor and select the 3rd floor, that is working very nice. All right, now the 4th floor is nice and hooked up and fully functional, and we'll be getting to the rest of the floors in the next video. I was originally hoping to cover all of this in 2 videos, but my expectations turned out to be a little bit optimistic. The next video in this series will be the last for this elevator. Thank you for sticking around and watching all of the videos. I'm trying to keep the videos as streamlined as possible while not leaving out important information. As it turns out, there's a lot to explain about this particular machine. If you have any questions or feedback, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. There will be a world download in the description if you want to have a working version in your own game to study and figure out. Anyways, I'm Begueatti. Thank you for watching, and I'll see ya in the next one. Uh-oh.